As a result of this surge operation, we have greatly reduced the number of targets for enforcement action, and many criminal aliens have been arrested and taken off the streets. I have proposed, and President Trump has concurred, that this surge operation conclude. A significant drawdown has already been underway this week and will continue to the next week. We have a lot of work to do across this country.
So right now, federal immigration agents pulling back from Minnesota. As border czar Tom Homan says, tight coordination with local law enforcement now means Operation Metro Surge can come to an end. Our correspondent Brooke Taylor is reporting live out of Minneapolis on that for us. Hello, Brooke.
Hi, Sandra. Yeah, a huge announcement today there from border czar Tom Homan. He says this operation has ended. He said there's been a significant drawdown already. That's going to continue into next week. Now, at the peak of this operation, there was about 3,000 federal law enforcement officers on the ground. Typically, before this operation, there was 150 ICE officers here in Minnesota. Homan said that officers here on detail, they're going to go back to their home stations or other areas of the country where they're needed. He did say, though, officers who are assigned to Minneapolis for the fraud investigations are going to stay in place until the work is done. The decision to end Operation Metro Surge was signed off by President Trump after Homan says they got unprecedented support from local and state officials and cooperation with jails who are willing to honor those ICE detainers. Homan took over the Minnesota operation in late January after the shooting deaths of Alex Preddy and Renee Good.
We have greatly reduced the number of targets for enforcement action, and many criminal aliens have been arrested and taken off the streets, including murderers, sex offenders, national security threats, gang members, and other violent criminals.
Governor Walz held a press conference following that announcement with this harsh message.
The federal government needs to pay for what they broke here. There are going to be accountability on the things that happened.
And DHS says that they have arrested over 4,000 illegal migrants during this operation. Homan says the operation is over, but immigration enforcement is certainly going to continue, Sandra.
All right, Brooke Taylor with all of that out of Minneapolis for us. Brooke, thank you very much. John?
Sandra, also happening right now, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem on the ground meeting with angel families. Parents and spouses who lost or had loved ones injured by crimes committed by illegal immigrants, as those families urge Washington not to let up and keep the crackdowns moving forward. Correspondent Alexis McAdams is live in Bakersfield, California, where she's traveling exclusively with Secretary Noem. Alexis?
Hi, John. Well, depending on where you are in the country, and you know this when you talk to people, everybody has an opinion on illegal immigration. But here in Bakersfield, California, we met a little girl and her family, Delilah Coleman, who's now 7 years old. And they have a very strong opinion because she is now learning to walk again. And she can't speak, John, after she was involved in a really bad crash just the other year here in California involving a man who was not supposed to be in the country, according to DHS, and was driving a big rig. So I want to show you here Delilah Coleman. We were invited inside of the home with DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. And, you know, these stories can be so emotional, and you read about them and you hear about them, and then you get there and it's just a completely different situation. It was hard to really not break down in there, John. Delilah was just 5 years old when a semi-truck crash left her with these devastating brain and body injuries. Her family is by her side, but says she'll never be the same. I want to show you that crash. It happened back in 2024. Police say she was hit by a semi-truck that was driven by a migrant in the country illegally from India. And we talk all the time about these CDLs. This is one of the reasons why. She was airlifted with those injuries, and her dad says immigration crackdown has to continue whether it's popular or not, because Americans have to be safe or someone else could wind up just like Delilah.
Come spend some time with me. Come spend some time with us and see how she used to be and how she is now. There's not one person that I've sat there and showed videos of her prior and they see her now and it doesn't hurt them.
And the secretary also sat down with another family, Agnes Scaboni. Her son, Ronald De Silva, was murdered when he was only 29 years old out in California, too. You can see the secretary there meeting with her and giving her a hug. Ronald was shot and killed by a gang member who DHS says had already been deported once and was back in the country. Agnes says that she wants the administration to continue the push. And another thing we talked with the DHS secretary about, John, is the criticism, not just from Democrats and protesters, but Republicans. And she says it's not going to stop her. Watch.
There's a lot of things to fix. I hope they can see my heart, that I do this job because it matters. It's a life of significance. And if I don't do my job, the consequences are that we have more crimes, more terrorist attacks in this country, and we need someone that's strong. So I will enforce the law.
And the family and Secretary Noem say, for those protesters, just take a look at Delilah next time you say that immigration, is no big deal, John.
Yeah, and she's going to require medical care for the rest of her life. And, the
Yeah.
expenses that is going to rack up for her family as well. The
really
impact
terrible.
lasts a long time. Alexis, thank you. Great report. Appreciate it. Sandra?
Okay. So New York's socialist mayor is ready to make good on his promise to raise taxes on the rich. Brian Kilmeade. Look up, Brian. And David Asman are fired up about this, and they'll join us next.
The number one crisis that New Yorkers are facing is a crisis of affordability. This is both the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, and also one where 1 in 4 New Yorkers are living in poverty.